Hello, this is another edition of my show, The Stuart Dahl Show. Star myself, Stuart Dahl, coming to you live from my man cave right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where the current temperature is about 13 degrees and it's supposed to be a low of -1 tonight, which it feels a little, cool, but oh well. It's Manitoba. What do you expect? And then as far as I know, it looks like it's going to be. Sorry about that, folks. It looks like it's going to be nice temperature-wise and weather-wise throughout the week, unless Mother Nature decides to change her mind. Now let's just get right into my show. To start off my show, there's two things that happened on this day, April 18th, during World War II. On April 18th, 1942, for the first and only time in aviation history, 16 B-25 Mitchell bombers launched off the aircraft carrier, the USS Hornet. Sorry about that. These 16 B-25 Mitchell bombers were launched off the aircraft carrier, the USS Hornet, which you should think of it. Just like think of it for a sec. A big, heavy, bulky, heavy like bomber such as the B-25 Mitchell launching off an aircraft carrier. Just think of that for a sec. Unfortunately, because the B-25 Mitchell bombers were so heavy, and that when they were put on the aircraft, the USS Hornet, because they were so heavy, they literally had to take anything out that they didn't need enough to lighten the load. Because if they didn't lighten the load, it was really heavy. There was the risk of once they tried launching off the deck of the USS Hornet, that there's the risk that the B-25 Mitchell bombers would basically crash into the Pacific. So they had to lighten the loads in order to do that. And the whole objective of this, of the raid on Tokyo, Japan, by these 16 B-25 Mitchell bombers, the whole objective of this was to try to paralyze or cripple, whatever you want to call it, anything that'd be vital to the Japanese war effort. That factories that produce tanks, weapons, ammunition, aircraft, you name it, and any communications, that'd be vital to the Japanese war effort. The whole objective of this, because there was no bombers at the time, U.S. bombers at the time that had, there was long range bombers, but they just didn't have the bases in the Pacific to launch them from to strike at Tokyo. So that's how the whole concept of launching 16 Army bombers off an aircraft carrier. They were trying to get within about 400 miles of Japan and then launch the B-25 Mitchell bombers from there. But unfortunately, as the aircraft carrier approached closer, they were unfortunately spotted by a Japanese patrol boat. So basically, this Japanese patrol boat was literally about 1 mile away, and they reported the USS Hornet's position. So unfortunately, as a result of that, the B-25 Mitchell bombers had to launch over 600 kilometers from Japan than originally they had planned because of this. and as a result of this, like the sorry about that, the B-25 Mitchell bombers, they had to put I think at least like I'm thinking like 10 more cans of fuel for each plane the because they just didn't have enough fuel to even to make it to China. But as a result of this, by burning out their fuel after the 16 B-25 Mitchell bombers dropped their bombs on Tokyo. Unfortunately, as a result of that, they had to try to land somewhere safely. But and unfortunately, as a result of this, some of the U.S. bomber crew that were part of the strike on Tokyo, Japan. As a result of this, unfortunately, some of the bomber crews were captured by Japanese troops. And how did Japanese troops, respond to this? They basically executed, some of the U.S. bomber crews that were, responsible for this, bombing raid, and this, proved, a point to the United States Army and Navy and Air Force that Japan, can be, vulnerable to air attack. So, that's that. Also, on this day, April 18th, 1943, the commander-in-chief of the combined Japanese fleet, Isoroku Yamamoto, unfortunately, I can't remember where he was, but he was on his way to, I can't remember where it is exactly, but long story short, the U.S. Air Force knew he was coming as a result of breaking the Japanese code, so they knew Yamamoto's flight plan. Sorry about that. So as a result of this, the plane that Yamamoto was on was shot down by a group from a fighter squadron. I can't remember the exact name of it, but yeah. So I believe that is one of the most, I guess you could say, high-ranking, Navy commanders to be, killed by the United States Air Force, Isoroku Yamamoto. And Isoroku Yamamoto was born on May 30th, 1881, and he died after the plane he was on was shot down on May 25th, 1943. And I believe, I can't remember if he was I believe he was between 40 and 60. I'm not sure his exact age, but yeah. But also as the World War II in the Pacific dragged on, at first like I said yesterday in my episode of the Stuart Dahl show, the United States, at first, at the start of World War II, were trying to stay neutral. In other words, they were trying to stay out of Europe's problems because, as a result, of World War One, the U.S. are basically saying, oh, we don't want to get involved in Europe's problems. Nazi Germany is Europe's problem. So they were trying to stay as neutral as they can. So, and the thing is, they were also helping out the British Empire by shipping in supplies out of like food, fuel, all that stuff, because Great Britain was an island country, which was literally right across the English Channel from France. and then so like I said, the U.S. was trying to stay neutral at that time. But as the war dragged on, and in like also in 1931 too, even before World War II started, Japan's imperial ambitions start growing bolder and bolder. By the invasion of Manchuria, China, basically for strategic and that for natural resource purposes, and that. Um, so that's that. And so uh, again, 1930 by 1940, I guess you could say tensions were starting to boil over between the United States and Japan because Japan was on a conquest across the Pacific and had to conquer basically every single country that was rich in natural resources and that were vital for the Japanese war efforts, such as raw materials like rubber and I guess you could say iron and oil and that. So basically, at one point, um, at first, the United States were basically said to Japan, in regards to China, they basically gave the Japanese government an ultimatum. Basically, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president of the United States at the time, basically said to the Japanese government, you have two choices. You either withdraw your forces from China completely, or two, we will economically crush you. Which so as a result of this, basically the Japanese government, because they believed in the Bushido Code and all that stuff, they basically told the Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the whole United States government to basically what, just take it and shove it type of thing, because the Japanese weren't about to give in to the U.S.'s demands, because Japan is an overpopulated island country lacking in natural resources like raw materials such as rubber and iron and also oil to fuel their vehicles and stuff. So, tensions were starting to really build and build. And then by 1941, they were starting to build even more and more. So, as a result of this, the Japanese, the commander in chief of the combined Japanese Pacific Japanese Navy, Isoroku Yamamoto, was trying to develop, a big and bold plan to strike at the United States. And did Japan do this? They on December 7th, 1941, without any warning, any declaration of war whatsoever, they basically attacked the United States, specifically at Pearl Harbor. And the whole objective of the surprise Japanese attack, is they were trying to destroy, basically, in other words, destroy the Pacific Fleet anchored to Pearl Harbor, but they were also trying to destroy the Japanese aircraft that were involved in the attack on Pearl Harbor. Were trying to destroy the battleships on Battleship Row. They were trying to destroy the oil dumps, the dry docks, the repair docks, anything that was vital to the U.S. Pacific Fleet. The Japanese were trying to destroy, even the aircraft carriers. But unfortunately, Isoroku Yamamoto's plan did not go exactly as planned, because he didn't destroy the oil dumps, which was really bad mistake. He didn't. The Japanese didn't destroy the dry dock and repair dock, so that's another bad decision. And also, they did not destroy the aircraft carriers, which were out at sea at the time of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And And the Japanese, really thoroughly, plan plan the attack on Pearl Harbor. And basically, I believe it was on November 26, 1941, they secretly departed from northern Japan in complete radio silence whatsoever. They couldn't, use radio, to communicate whatsoever because they'd be detected by the United States specifically, and they were trying to take, a route through the rough seas that they wouldn't be detected by the United States Navy. So, as it went on after 10 days at sea, the Japanese fleet peeled up and then began, going. And then on December 7th, 1941, they got within 200 miles of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and then the pilots aboard the aircraft carriers were woken up at 4 a.m. and then they were gathered, for the traditional sake toast to the emperor, and then they had a final briefing with the commander who led the attack on Pearl Harbor, Dan Masood Rashida. So yeah. What else? So that's just some stuff on history, and you know the in the Pacific War. Now, what else? As you all know, the NHL playoffs are going on right now. I believe they're still like in the first round of the playoffs, and basically right now for the teams that are in the NHL playoffs now, it's basically you win your series, you go on. You lose, you go home. And basically the last team standing, basically, in other words, after all this is said and done, becomes the Stanley Cup champions. So, this is gonna be really interesting, NHL playoffs, seeing as there's no Canadian teams in the playoffs, such as Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal. Practically all the Canadian teams are not in the playoffs. And the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup was the Montreal Canadiens in 1993, which is really pretty sad for Canada, if I don't say so myself. Even though, sorry about that. Even though I'm a German citizen because of my heritage. But in all regards, there should be really interesting NHL playoffs this year. What else? Other than that, I've had a good day so far. I went to do strength for swimming at the YMCA this morning, and then went to the agency I belong to, Eagle Opportunities West. For swimming, when I train for swimming outside of swimming, I try to do strength at least 3 days a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or sometimes I have to switch it around like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If I say have plans on a Friday and I can't go out with my respite worker Paul, and I usually let him know ahead of time, hey, I have plans this Friday, have a nice weekend, see you Tuesday type of thing. And and then I also try to do at least 1 to 2 days of cardio a week to also keep in shape for swimming. But right now I can only do 1 day of cardio because all my sports are not done for the season yet. Well, I wouldn't say all my, like, pretty much like I'm done currently for the season, I'm almost done bowling for the season. Technically speaking, I only have one more week because I have plans this Saturday, and then I have swimming, and then that's pretty much it. Uh, other than that, um, yeah. Other than that, um, I just try to keep in shape, just in general, but also for swimming too, because of the long distance races that I do and that. So that's always a good thing. What else? Uh, what else? I just finished having a nice supper and that with my mom. Um, Now I'm just pretty much just relaxing, watching TV in the man cave, working on my laptop, type of thing. Just kind of just winding down for the day type of thing. And then what else? Other than that, Monday Night Raw should be rather interesting tonight. And that we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And that, for example, like between like people like Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose, and that, what else? And then there's also and then also it's going to be interesting. There should be some more matches, in the number one contenders tournament to determine who's going to face the New Day for the WWE Tag Team titles. And there's a lot of tag teams right now involved in the tournament. There's the Vaude Villains from NXT. There's Fandango and Goldust. Who else? There's Enzo Amoria and Big Cass. They're also from NXT and that. There's so many tag teams in this number one contenders tournament to determine the number one contender for the WWE tag team titles, and that I can't name them all off the top of my head, type of thing. But oh well. Sorry about that, folks. What else? Other than that, I'm usually busy most of the time, and that especially during the fall and winter months because I have all three of my sports like swimming, bowling, curling, and plus work and that. And then I also help coach with the wrestling team at my old high school and that. Um, what else? And then also, the stuff that I do to keep in shape for swimming at the YMCA and that. So I'm usually, a pretty busy guy, pretty much all the time, except when I don't have any. All my sports are done pretty much for the summer till the fall. But that's okay, type of thing. What else? As you all probably know, the European Championship or Euro Championship 2016 starts on June 10th and goes till July 10th in France. And there's various countries involved that have qualified. For example, like Germany, Poland, Ukraine, Northern Ireland, Russia, Turkey. There's 24 countries involved. I can't name them all off the top of my head because there's so many countries in that. So they divided them up in the groups of four from group A till to I can't remember the other name of the group, but type of thing. What else? Uh, that's pretty much it. Then like I said, Euro 2016 starts in I guess you could say about a month and a half type of thing. What else? Oh, wait. Oh God. Oh my God. That really stinks. Oh my God. Anyways, I also, like to hang around, with friends and that, such as my friends like, Aaron Forster Milner, John Boline, all my other friends. I'm not telling you and this is YouTube. I'm not telling you where they live or what city they live in, just because you never know. There could be crazy and cuckoos, out there type of thing. You never know. And that, what else? What else? Other than that, also Major League Baseball season has gotten underway in that. So far, it's been interesting start to the season in that. So and there's like a lot of games played throughout the season, and that like I believe there's like over 180 games throughout the season. That on pretty much most all days a week, like Monday through Sunday, type of thing. And some weeks, some teams do have buys in that. Yeah. What else? Well, this is oh oh god. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that, folks. In most countries, if you burp after a meal, it's considered as a compliment. If you don't, it's considered as an insult type of thing in some countries. Uh, what else? Well, this has been, another edition of my show, The Stuart Dahl Show. For you young people, stay in school, stay out of trouble, and you'll do great. And and also try to enjoy this, nice weather and that we're getting here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Other than that, I'm signing off for now. I'll try to make I'll try to make as videos whenever I can. I can't exactly say when I'm gonna do them because I'm always busy with work and sports and all that stuff. But other than that, um, uh, um, um, other than that, I'll be saying bye bye and stay cool, my friends.